cheer 'em on so proud. See, power girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. But martial arts from Iron Fist and Wall, I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers Assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Say Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Lucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours. This NMA and bring her lots of flowers. Oh, trendy bars would be a guy's night out. We'd make that wolf pack out. I'd run with Flash and do a marathon. Vacation to the savage land for fun. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of. I wanna live in a world full of heroes. Have NPR and CNN describe the latest. I wanna tuck my kids inside and read them stories of superhuman glory while the sleepy faces beam. Live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. See, power girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. With martial arts from Iron Fist and Wall, I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers Assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Date Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Lucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours. This NMA and bring her lots of flowers. Oh, trendy bars would be a guy's night out. We'd make that wolf pack out. I'd run with Flash and do a marathon. Vacation to the savage land for fun. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of. I wanna live in a world full of heroes. Have NPR and CNN describe the latest team. I wanna talk heroes. Now sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. Powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. When martial arts from iron fist and wall, call Dazzler up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Date Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Bucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours. This NMA and bring her lots of flowers. Oh, trendy bars would be a guy's night out. We'd make that wolf pack out. I'd run with Flash and do a marathon. Vacation to the savage land for fun. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of. I wanna live in a world full of heroes. Have NPR and CNN describe the latest teams. I wanna tuck my kids inside and read them stories of superhuman glory while the sleepy faces beam. Wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. See, powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. When martial arts from iron fist and wall, call Dazzler up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Date Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Bucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours. This NMA and bring her lots of flowers. Oh, trendy bars would be a guy's night out. We'd make that wolf pack out. I'd run with Flash and do a marathon. Vacation to the savage land for fun. Oh,
First learned about this 7 years ago. On a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive. When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds. The target had superhuman abilities. It had the same marking you do, Cole.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark, Cole. It means you've been chosen.
Throughout history, different cultures all over the world reference a great tournament of champions. That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation to fight for something known. As Mortal Kombat.
These are your champions.
I'm Sonya. That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
Name's Jax.
Kung Lao.
Lord Raiden.
The fate of Earth is in our hands.
No matter how many of my people you put in the ground, we will not fail. Kill them.
I am Sub-Zero. Get over here!
We're here. What? You told us to get over here. We're here. Welcome.
Yeah, we're right here.
Like you've dragged us by the throat, kicking and screaming. We're here.
We're here.
I'm here again.
Yes, we actually had to throw a spear at Jill and stab her and pull her back, kicking and screaming, to get her to do another review of Mortal Kombat. Hello and welcome to the periodic table of awesome. Which I love it. When I was doing the interview that you'll see in a little while, they said, "Oh, where are you from?" And I said, "The periodic table of awesome." I said, "That's a mouthful, isn't it?" It's like, yes,
Sure.
yes,
Well,
Yes,
I mean,
but is it a cool name?
yeah,
damn straight.
but it's still cool, you know.
Yes.
Periodic table spelled with a K.
Periodic cable. I don't know. I got nothing.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Anyway, welcome one and all to a very special
The double
Thursday
one.
night one.
2 in a week. What are we doing?
Ooh la la.
I know.
It's crazy. I feel so discombobulated.
Oh, I've got my soundboard back, and I'm not afraid to use it again.
You know, the thing that I'm most worried about, though, is whether you've hit record.
Have I?
Because I haven't.
Oh, well, that's all right. Lucky I have.
Molly.
It's all fine here.
Okay,
The internet
good.
never forgets.
Look,
Quinny.
am I just the epitome of professionalism amongst the
I-
three of us?
Yes,
I-
yes, you are.
I fucking have to, hands off to Jill, who's just fucking done very well. I know she said computer issues the last few times that we've done this, but that is the best. What do they call it when they used to remake movies in a terrible way? Sweeting. That's the best sweeted background I've ever seen. Well done.
Absolutely. I love it. I love that you've actually printed it out right, font, everything.
Absolutely.
So,
It's perfect.
Yeah, I got as close as I could.
Yeah. Oh,
This is what being 17 years of graphic design will get you.
Perfect.
I would ask for my money back on all of that training. Just put it out.
Oh,
Oh,
2 minutes.
Yeah. It took 2 minutes, and already
And it
it is
looks
round
like it.
one.
oh yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. I love that you're playing soundboards, but I can't hear them because they
Oh.
don't come through here. So
Oh.
I can just tell because there's a look on your face that is the I've done something funny look.
Oh dear. Yeah. Well, look.
Yes.
Hey, we've all seen Mortal Kombat. It's out.
Yes.
We can now talk
Yes.
about the movie. Yay!
Yes.
And I don't know if anyone else has seen Mortal Kombat. It's out today. Maybe you went today and saw it. And,
There were quite a lot of preview screenings on either Tuesday or Wednesday. I've seen quite a lot of people who have seen it. So, even people in Tasmania have been to go and see it. So,
Well, I mean,
preview screenings left, right, and center. And you know what? They've actually had a better experience of watching the film than I did because I had to watch it on a phone.
just like Nolan intended.
Absolutely. Yes, thanks very much to Warner Brothers for sending a screener out because I was away doing Supernova and stuff like that, and there was no way I was going to be able to actually watch an actual screening. But at the same time, let me tell you, watching it like this, not exactly what you'd call immersive.
No.
Perfect experience. Flawless. No
Yeah.
notes. We're good.
Dear. So, yes.
What have we got tonight? What's happening tonight, Quinny? It's a special show because we have special things.
We have many special things. It's been a big week because this whole film thing has been happening. We got very excited. A few weeks ago, I got a lovely email from somebody saying, "Hey, we're doing press junkets," and I was like, "Cool, I'm in."
Yeah, it's Mortal Kombat. It's my shit.
Yeah, I am so fucking there.
Yeah.
So even though I came back from Gold Coast on Monday and I was exhausted and coming down with a cold, which I have now. We had a lovely opportunity to chat with both the director and the producer of the film, who there's Bennet Walsh, even though I managed to fuck up his last name, because I'm a professional.
A white person last name. And you still screwed it up.
Wow. The director is Simon McQuoid, who is a dude from Western Australia. Dion, you actually kind of pointed out to me some of what his background was.
Well, he does a lot of commercial work, as I found. Like, having to, hey, we're talking about interviewing people. You should really find out what they do. But he comes from a commercial director background, and one of the things that he did that sort of got the attention of some people was some Star Wars ads or Star Wars themed ads for Duracell. Which you can find. You can find them. They're on Vimeo and online. Like, go and have a look at them. They're quite interesting. But that was one of the things, apart from the body of work that he has done, that got the attention. And because, they were filming in Australia and it was just pre-COVID and then COVID happened, it was a strange, strange time for everyone involved in that production, going from, like, it's cool to, wow, this is weird. And it'll be interesting to see all the other productions that come out. So, like, Children of the Corn still coming.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's still happening.
Is that corn spelt with a Q?
Yeah. It's for all the it's for all the vegetarians.
The vegan children.
It's very salty. It's got a lot of sodium in it.
But still quite tasty. Makes
Yeah, but but Quinny, as you said, you went to go along and have a chat to some people, and so we've got an interview with Simon and Bennet.
Yes.
To talk about, and then we thought we'd come back and do some reviewing of the film, which may have a few spoilers in it, so just be forewarned.
We'll talk about it in a bit of detail. We'll see how we go with that. Apologies if there's repeated footage because the trailer plays heavily in this clip. Also, these are just the short versions of the interviews. So there are longer versions that will be coming out on YouTube in the next day or so that are the full one, that it also involves some of the questions that people asked, including some of you out there.
Yes, we added, well, Quinny just did it. And after that, when we come back, there's also some more interviews with who? Which cast members did you get to talk to?
Well, we the one I was probably the most excited to talk to after seeing the first trailer, Aussie boy Josh Lawson, who
does he play?
People, sorry,
who does he play?
Fucking Kano.
Oh my god! And he absolutely slays it.
Yes, he does. I was super fucking excited. Like, after seeing the first trailer, where and the first trailer was a Red Band trailer, so he's literally holding a heart, and then says, "For you, fucking beauty." I was like, what is this?
Yes.
What's this? What's this? There's magic in the air. So I was very, very excited about that. And also Sisi Stringer, who plays Mileena, who is one of the lady ninjas with the size. And
Yes, I know
we had a lot
that
of fun.
character, Millennial.
She's a millennial. And in fact, if you watch, she is a millennial because at the beginning of the interview, she quite literally is just like, sorry, I've got to take this. And then she's on the phone for the first 2 minutes of the interview. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, fantastic.
And Jubei-chan in the chat is only here for Quinny's unicorn balls. So you will see what the unicorn balls are about in the second interview.
Yeah, so when we do the interviews, though,
okay.
we'll still be on the chat. You can just talk to us about the stuff and, mercilessly rib Quinny and he may respond to you.
Absolutely. Call out my fashion choices because, I probably should have gone with a slightly less tight shirt, maybe.
Harsh, Quinny.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll
well.
get you some interview clothes.
I really do.
No,
Dress me.
You are flawless. It's fine. It's happy on the inside, happy on the outside, Quinny. Don't worry about anyone.
I love you so much.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so should we get into the first interview?
We'll
Simon
have a chat
McQuoid.
with.
And Simon McQuoid and Bennet Walsh, the producer of the film. And we're just going to roll that one now. Enjoy, people. Ask us questions in the chat.
Yes.
Throughout history, different cultures all over the world reference a great tournament of champions. That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation to fight for something known. As Mortal Kombat.
Hi, I'm here talking with the director and one of the producers of a film that I'm extraordinarily excited for because I am a big fan of this game series, Simon McQuoid and Mr. E. Bennet.
It's Bennet.
Bennet, we'll go with Bennet. This film is one that I know a lot of people are very excited about, but also quite trepidatious about because it's a video game movie. We all know that there is a history that goes along with that. So how did you feel about approaching this? We'll start with you, Simon.
Well, I think we really focused on bringing the material over from Mortal Kombat and respecting it to a level where we knew we had to be really careful with it. We had to do it justice and we had to give it a very high value on the property we were working on. We all knew that. And I felt like part of my process was really educating everyone, the key people, everyone that came onto the film, in how important this was to the fans of the game. And so early on I said to people, just pretend it's a series of novels. And then the game came out of that. And what that helped do is it helped people recalibrate it in their brain that, we're doing a movie.
Yeah.
We are not just falling into the old sort of traps that other people have. We didn't really study other films that didn't do well. We just said, okay.
That seems like a smart move.
Yeah, we didn't really look at that.
We didn't watch the old Mortal Kombat movies.
No.
Right.
No, we just felt...
We had fun diving into the characters and the script that you had.
Yeah.
And running with it.
Because the storyline has been quite interwoven over the years. There are so many games and so many different iterations of story. How do you sort of try and pick the eyes out of it, find the best through line? I mean, obviously you've got a script, but what do you then look for to try and add to it? Or
I think there's a real spectrum over the decades. If you think about where it started and now where it's become, you've got this evolution that the game's gone on.
Yeah.
So we had to look at each iteration of that and the various sort of chapters and where they'd gone and look at that as a whole, respect the very early part of it, but also not just fall into just doing the same thing again, which was done in the 90s. So it was a matter of taking some elements of it to give it its expansive quality and where they'd gone with the game. And then it was just sitting on the characters and making sure we're doing the characters justice and then just... this process of this film has been a constant balancing act, hasn't it?
Always been a balancing
characters, have we got tonal.
The characters are so beloved that we spent a lot of time making sure they came to life properly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that really, really shows. You see Kung Lao on screen for the first time and you know, he appears and you think, oh, that's it. That's the right guy.
And it's the right hat.
Always
hat
the right
took
hat.
4 months to make for that
Really?
character.
Oh.
And still also operated perfectly as a saw and all sorts of other horrific things.
It defies the laws of gravity.
Absolutely.
Even when it's sitting on his head.
It's a little bit like Captain America's shield. It does its own thing.
Simon picked Max Wang to be Kung Lao. And then we had to go to the studio and say, okay, you're on board. And I remember going week after week, I need to know so I can make the damn hat. And this is, 4 months before, and they thought I was nuts. And I was like, no, we need the time with the hat.
Yeah, you've got to get the hat right, otherwise the character doesn't work.
Correct.
Or it does not work.
And we were R&Ding hats before we'd even got Max. And then it was like, oh, Max seems right. And we got this sort of hat design here. But we've got to put it on his head.
Yeah, and it has to sit right.
Came at the last second.
So the hat was made by Weta Digital in Wellington.
That's amazing.
I mean, Weta Workshop in Wellington, the prop manufacturing.
I look forward to buying a replica of it at some point in time. It won't fit on my head, but we'll give it a go anyway. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Max Wang.
Max Wang. All that time speaking with the director, you just wanted to talk about hats.
Yep. I like that. As Amy says, amazing how you can tell the guy's Australian without even hearing him. Yep.
Yeah.
It's so true. Yes, I've got an awful lot of love for millinery, and
Just anything that covers your head, right, Quinny?
Yeah. Ow.
Oh.
Ow.
Well,
Yes.
Jill, you could give him a run for you could help instruct him on the ways of the wig. That's what I want to see.
Oh, yeah. We'll get you a nice toupee.
Oh, no. I'm yet to see a good toupee ever in my life. And anyway, they are too much toupee.
Oh,
but
goodness.
I do love the idea that I could possibly pick up a Weta Workshop replica of a Kung Lao hat or a Raiden hat.
Yeah, that's kind of
yeah.
cool. Although I think, to be honest, the one replica that everyone wants is the kunai rope thing from the start of the film.
Yes.
And maybe we'll get into talking about the film as it is now. We can actually do a review now and talk about it. And
absolutely.
I kind of, there will be a few spoilers because I think some of the things that shat me about the film, if I'm going to be honest, are spoilery.
Yeah.
But also, I kind of don't want to spoil it for too many people.
No, well,
because
it is literally coming out today. So.
Yeah, and it's hard to go and see a movie today, or someone's probably watching it right now in the cinema and watching this Twitch stream on their phone because they can.
So, I'm sorry, I'm just giving Predakangaroo the nod to raspberry toupee.
What? I don't even know what is going on. You're doing better than I am.
I'm very impressed.
Okay, now, if I'm going to start with someone, it's not going to be Quinny because I already know that he likes it. I want to know Jill. Jill hated the 1995 one and justifiably hated the
With
1997
a furious
one.
passion.
Oh, I did.
Jill, what did
But you know
think of it?
what? This one is 1,000 times more watchable.
Hey.
Is it perfect? No. Is the story good? Not really.
Oh, that's harsh. Some of the story's great.
Which bits?
It's certainly an improvement. And as convenient as a lot of the plot points are, they at least thought about how they're going to bring these people together for a Mortal Kombat rather than, oh, hello, I am Batman from Otherworld. I'm going to take you to battle because that's the only way I can invade your planet. Like, it's still a bit stupid like that. But at least there's a bit more lore to
Yeah, at least it's not
tale of having these legendary fighters. Like, it makes a bit more
at least
sense.
it wasn't like Transformers where they just teleported from the Smithsonian to Egypt through a door. Fuck, come on.
Oof.
At least there were no hamster balls in this one.
No.
No hamster balls, no fucking, stupid shit.
Just one really ochre Australian, and I have to say, Josh Lawson. Oh my god, I would watch this movie again and again just for his performance because it was the best.
Yep.
And I think hearing him say pig's ass.
Look,
Not in a million years would you hear that in an American film. Like
No.
only in Australia. He's gonna go, fucking I'm sick of this shit. Pig's ass. And, oh my god.
I mean, it took
amazing.
it takes an Australian actor ad-libbing stuff and an Australian director to understand that no, this means something in Australia. If you say pig's ass, people are going to be like, yeah, no, that's totally normal saying. Whereas in America, they're like, what's a pig's ass? Why is a pig having an ass? I don't understand it.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if every single one of his lines was ad-lib. Like there was no script for Kano. It's just like, be in the scene.
You wait till you hear the interview.
There's an interview coming up, so I mean, let's remember that that's it.
Great,
But-
I'll get some confirmation on that. But one of my very favorite actors is in this movie, Mr. Hiroyuki Sanada. He is so cool.
Yes.
And I really dug the storyline between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Like it was a really cool way to give these characters a backstory to their whole mortal enemies thing. And it was clever. I liked it.
Which is cool because that is very much the story of the characters from the games. And, you know, I'm not entirely, I don't think the time period, because I mean, there is a certain question mark in terms of why Hanzo Hasashi is getting around in 1800s Japan. And yet, you know, is a ghost. That's cool. Fine. Turns into Scorpion. No problem. I'm assuming that means that Sub-Zero lives for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
I
guess he's on ice permanently.
Yeah, well,
so.
true. Yeah. But that's cool. I don't care because it's still badass, and I love it. In the original '95 film, it's literally their entire rivalry is dealt with a single line, which is "deadliest of enemies, but slaves under my power." That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah.
Every fan of the game was like, come on.
Yeah.
Pig's ass.
Pig's ass.
Pig's fucking ass.
I quite enjoyed a lot of the stuff with Sonya as well. I thought the interactions between her and Kano worked well.
Extremely better actress than whoever they had
My
for the
word.
original.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, you know, it was kind of, it's an interesting experience for me going into it because I kind of got to admit, you know, everyone has seen the opening 7 minutes. That's out. We posted it yesterday. Like it came out. They released the first 7 minutes, and it's a really interesting way to start the film. It explains the rivalry between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. It gives us a little bit of background. It's kind of a nice little cold open. Felt a little bit televisual in the storytelling way because they do that, and then they go.
It's very straightforward.
Yeah, and then they come into the next thing, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, so they're going from this establishment of these characters into this next one, and I was very cautious because it starts with, you know, Sonya and, well, actually it starts with Jax and, sorry, Cole. Cole and
I was going to
Jax.
say, Cole and...
Yeah, the Cole's a whole thing. But
it is. And in the extended version of the interview, we actually talk about that quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's
the whole
something
why there is a Cole in this film.
Yeah, so for more background, it's definitely worth checking out that interview when we put it out on YouTube a bit later, the full one. And that made me just kind of got my back up, and I'm like, I'm not sure where I want to go with this, and I was not.
I think you and every fan.
I was not grabbing. It's not grabbing onto me, and then fucking. It goes to Sonya, and I was of Jax and Sonya. I'm kind of like, I'm getting Jax and then Sonya, and then it introduces Kano. And as soon as I got what the fuck was going on with Kano, and that he just wasn't stopping, it's a bit confronting. Like he starts talking, and you're like, oh fuck, is this gonna what's this?
Is this a comedy?
And then he doesn't stop, and then you're like, oh, this is fucking great. Like I am down for this. This guy is just like Josh just absolutely runs off with just runs away with the entire movie for at least 20 minutes. You're just following it's the fucking Aussie Kano show. You know?
The thing I found the funniest about it was that he was having a fucking great time. Everybody else around him was too. And every time an American actor then chose to swear, I was like, oh, Oh no!
Oh no! What are you
Like the
doing?
Australian throwing f bombs around like that's nobody's business, and like fucking what a fucking what a and it just was water off a duck's back. As soon as Sonia said fuck something, I was like,
Oh. And I mean, I know everyone thinks that they saw it in Australian film and TV actor Jai Courtney's representation of Captain Boomerang.
That is his full name.
Yeah,
Legal.
yeah. You must always say Australian film and TV actor Jai Courtney, because you forget who he is. But you thought that was a fun representation of Australiana, and then fucking it's just dialed up to not even 11, like 50. Josh is just like, let's fucking kick it in the dick. Let's go.
Yep.
And that was the most entertaining thing. And as soon as I got on board with that, I was like, yeah, okay, let's roll this film. What do you got for me? And then I was.
It's funny. The wheels almost come off it a little bit when they start running into the big mythological stuff. Like the moment that you run into Liu Kang and Kung Lao,
who'd look amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're not bad actors or anything. I actually think Kung Lao
Liu
is
Kang
great.
was a bit of a hottie.
A bit.
Right, I fucking come in.
Right, Magic Mike.
Then the film actually starts to struggle a little bit under its own weight, and it's like, oh, now we're having to do all that kind of stupid stuff with.
Now we have to get to the actual Mortal Kombat. Now this is where the storyline gets dumb. Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, like up until that point, it's been kind of this interesting story where you're like, okay, you're trying to get away from this fucking deadly ass ninja who, is throwing snow or ice storms around, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you get to the sort of training stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, right, okay, yeah, we've got to do this, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, it did feel like pretty real world-ish kind of adaptation on a video game film, and and then you kind of get to the everybody actually has like a special power, which is like unlock this ability by down up back forward. Bullshit. It's like you just have to be in the right mood to get your power. Let's find out what it is and have a training montage, and then that's when you're like, oh yeah, it's a video game movie.
Yeah, I mean, that was this is the thing I had with it. When I was watching this film, I was totally with it, and then it started to lose me when they started the fighting. Whereas in the 1995 one, I wasn't with it. And then they got to the island and started fighting, and I'm like, I'm getting where this is going now. It's leading to a big confrontation. And this is kind of it sort of feels like the other way around. It's like, what an amazing start. And why don't I care by the end of it about that? I just want to see more of the stuff you were doing at the start.
Yeah,
it's kind of.
I think one of the things that one of the things I'd probably put the blame on a little bit. I'm sure he's a lovely person, but Chin Han, who plays Shang Tsung, I gotta say, he just doesn't have the kind of gravitas that you want. He doesn't have you look at Kerry Hiroyuki Tagawa from the first film, and dude's eating all the fucking scenery around him. He's having a great time. But in this one, he reminded
He's still like
me.
a very good established Chinese actor, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like, okay.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not having a go at him for that. I just think he doesn't have the oomph.
Shang Tsung, the character, which is from the game, is based on James Hong from Big Trouble in Little China, who was eating scenery like no one's business. And then when they got the other actor in the 95 one to play Shang Tsung, again, eating scenery like he's supposed to be a caricature villain. And then in this one, it sort of feels like the actor was like, oh yeah, so I'm just some sort of person. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And they can't. It felt.
And they put an effect on his voice and everything to try and make him all like scary. And I was like, eh.
Yeah, it was just kind of, and also like I feel like there's a problem in a lot of films I've seen in recent years, like in the last 5 to 10 years, and I say this with love, but especially in DC films, is that the villains are shit. And in this one, the biggest problem is there's no real drama. There's no there's no real villain. Like, I don't really care.
Well, and the other problem, and I mean, I feel like I'm hanging shit on it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Is that like the big kind of rivalry that is meant to be there? The two opposing powers are Shang Tsung and Lord Raiden.
Yeah.
And in this one, Tadanobu Asano is okay as Raiden.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he's at least Japanese this time around.
yes, which is a good start.
Yes. And didn't have breathing problems.
Yeah. But also there was something, you know, bizarre and weird and kind of whatever about Christopher Lambert that was otherworldly. Like, and I don't know, I didn't feel like there was enough of a strong sense of two powerful beings.
No.
You
That's
know,
true.
and that was a shame because I think that if you're gonna play in big fantasy territory, you got to do big fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if the whole point of your movie is you have two teams that are fighting each other to, you know, over the fate of the planet, how about we feel the stakes instead of you just telling us what they are?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's always been a bit of a problem with the thing because it's like it's a secret tournament that nobody knows about, so nobody knows the stakes of the actual world. And I mean, did we ever even see an army?
I mean, the best part of it was like,
oh yeah, kind of. There was one army scene where they're walking through Cooper Pedy.
Yeah.
I think the best parts were like being stalked by Sub-Zero. That stuff kind of made you feel, oh, this is scary. Like there's these evil people after us. But then, yeah, Shang Tsung doesn't really back it up.
Yeah.
No.
He just shows up with his entourage and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take over Earth.
He reminds me of something that is terrible and should never be reminded of. There was a live action TV series of Flash Gordon in the early 2000s on Sci-Fi Channel.
Was there?
Yes, it's fucking terrible. Like it's
Bullet
utterly
dodged.
awful. But in that one, Ming the Merciless was, instead of it being like, you know, Max von Sydow and, you know, all that pomp and ceremony and shit like that, he was just a dude in a suit, like a business suit. And he was meant to maybe be a little bit like a Nazi, but not really. And it was Ming the Meaningless. And I was like, and unfortunately, that's where I feel like this
is it kind of a
Shang Tsung is.
Is it a Shang?
Yeah. Like, you know, he does the soul rip and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, cool. But I still just didn't feel like he was enough of a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like it sounds like the film isn't like, it sounds like we go, oh, these are all the bad things. It's like the film is actually very good. Like,
yeah,
the effects are great. The people playing them,
fight choreography was fantastic.
Very good.
You actually see fights happening instead of just cutting away when there's a punch.
Yeah. No unnecessarily slow-mo where, you know.
Yes. Joe Taslim is just fucking amazing. You know, like it's all got all the sort of bits there, but when combined together at the end, it's, what do I say? It's kind of like we put everything together. We were going to make this amazing cake, and then when we put it in the oven, the oven went off, and we didn't check on it, and by the end of it, you're like, oh shit, but it's still delicious because it's a cake.
Yeah.
But
and I mean, I feel like the middle bit is the bit where it's sort of the kind of flubbiest.
Yeah, when they get, like, as I said, when they get to start the fighty bit, or when they start to introduce the good characters, evil characters, and working out how are they going to fight together, it gets a little bit lost and doesn't understand. And I think perhaps, as we saw in that interview, the director and the producer should perhaps have watched the first film to just get a good idea of how do you make sense about people who fight 2-on-2 together in a way that doesn't work. How can you kind of make that seem almost natural?
And I've got to say, let me tell you, there's some fucking weird character choices in there too. Like, like Natara, who is a character who showed up in maybe 2 of the games, and was like, cool, she's flying around doing a thing. Cool.
She is the red shirt of the Mortal Kombat universe. I love that. It's like, we've introduced this character because she's going to die. Like
Raiko. Raiko is a character who I actually had to look up because I couldn't remember them at all.
Yeah.
I was like, Yeah.
So they're just
all-
like throwing in some deep cuts just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, like I mean, they reference a heap of other stuff. Like I mean, there's Easter
Mm.
eggs and shit throughout. But yeah, like there are weird choices, and there are things that you're like, you know, there are plot elements that you could have drawn on that maybe would have been a little more fun. And I mean, once again, we get through the whole thing with no hint of Shao Kahn whatsoever, the big emperor.
I mean, yeah, and it's funny you say that, like, you know, Reiko, or Raiko, whatever his name is in
Reiko,
there, played by Nathan Jones, who people would remember, the Australian actor, well, no, the Australian fucking unit that is Nathan Jones, who plays the big person in every film that you've ever seen. Most notably,
But you'll probably remember from Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, or from Troy, if you remember the start of that, he was the giant.
Oh no, I don't remember that.
Oh, dude, he's been around for ages. But you know, it's strange. You get introduced to these sort of secondary characters, and you're like, oh, okay. So, do I have to do that, or do I find like? Whereas then they introduce other characters which are fucking fan service to the nth degree. Like Cabal is.
Yes,
is amazing, and in this film is great. They've introduced this character. He's called Cabal. He's evil.
Cabal was my favorite character in Mortal Kombat 3. I fucking loved him. He was my go-to character.
Complete dick to play, and you could fuck around with people.
Yes, he was super
great.
fast and had big knives and shit.
Yeah, and you know they steered away from Nightwolf. Great.
Well, I did like there was a hint of Nightwolf in there.
Yeah. There's hints of characters.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, one of the things that I was only slightly disappointed from was in the 95 one, they followed Liu Kang's story very specifically. It's Liu Kang. It's a Liu Kang movie. We'll follow him.
Yeah.
In this one, they kind of don't give them any purpose. Like they look great. Like Liu Kang and Kung Lao look amazing. There's a whole thing there which would rival the Scorpion Sub-Zero thing. Like there's a whole bunch of double stuff here, but they've just, you know, given us what we wanted, which is wider Sub-Zero and Scorpion hate each other, but then they miss out on like, oh, but we've also given you Liu Kang and Kung Lao, but we're not going to talk about them at all or do anything.
Yeah, they're kind of underserved in terms of plot, and you're like, oh, okay.
Even though canonically Liu Kang is literally the champion of Earthrealm.
Yeah,
I didn't get that at all in this film.
Yeah, I really liked Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion. I think he brought a different level to the film.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. The bit between the storyline between Sub-Zero and Scorpion is amazing. It's literally one of the linchpin things, and they did really well in getting that onto screen. And it has all the coolest fights and shit in it. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
And it's a shame though, because that while they focused on that, they didn't focus on some of the things which you like, as someone who comes from the history of it, is like, oh, canonically this is supposed to happen, you know. And I don't want to give too much away, but Goro is in there.
Yes,
and Goro was
Goro
the
again.
well, you saw it you see it in the trailer, but Goro is in there, and I still will stand to this. Like 95 Goro is superior to this Goro in every way.
Because 95 Goro is voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson.
Yes, but also 95 Goro has a personality, and you get to find that out. You know, you get to find out why he's the Prince of Outworld. You know, in this one, it's just like, oh, hello, Prince. Go kill this guy because I want you to. And then he just yells and fights someone. And then that fight is done and no one cares.
Yeah. Goro is very definitely a wasted thing. And actually that does lead to one other thing that I found difficult with the film, is that occasionally there, like, the scale or scope of it didn't feel like it kind of matched the level of intensity that we're meant to be talking about. Like there are a couple of moments where they split off and they go to have fights in lots of different places, and one person goes to the pit in Outworld and one person goes somewhere else. They're cool, but then your big fights, so your big fight between Goro and Cole happens in a fucking chook shed.
It does.
And then your other big fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion is in an old gym.
No, but like, did you not love the book ending of that? That was the best thing. Okay, I know it's shot in South Australia, and I know they found a building that they're going to shoot the Mortal Kombat one in, and I love that they must have put a casting call out for extras, because right at the start, Cole's fighting in a cage match in a gym, and it's surrounded by literally the casting call note, which is any bearded men with a flannelette shirt, please turn up to this gym
God
on
damn
this
it!
day.
I could have been a contender.
You could have. We all could have been. Anyone could have. If you had if you had a beard and a flannelette shirt, you were definitely a part of that crowd scene in South Australia on that day. And then they did that scene, and then they set dressed the fuck out of it to make it like the final fight scene, which was great. Like, it's kind of like, it's a nice little bookend.
It is, but like I was kind of looking for something a little more mythological, a little more epic.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool, but it didn't to me have the feeling of like, a temple or a thing with heft or weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Even though I was like multi-screening while I was watching this, it kind of surprised me that was the ending.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hang on, wait, it's finished? Oh.
Yeah.
The tournament's over. They've lost. Oh, do we have any wrap up? No, there was no wrap up. At least
it's just like, oh, what are you going to do now, Cole?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Hollywood. I'm like,
yeah, I mean, like, okay, at least in the 95 one, you got the whole thing. They had the hero shot at the end. They're back at the temple. Everyone's happy. Johnny Cage and Sonya might hook up now that she's out of her leather outfit. And then, just went straight to the sequelitis fucking, oh, here's Shao Kahn, like sequel-y thing. But at least they had that kind of ending where all the champions are together and feeling good about themselves and having won. And, some people, in this one, it's just kind of like, well, the film's done.
Yeah.
It's in the can.
Yeah. Done. Everybody go home. Thanks. Good. Well done. And I mean, who knows?
Bizarre.
Maybe that was a part of the proximity of COVID and stuff like that. But it does, it does feel very, very brief.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I think for the rest of it, it's mostly a pretty cool film.
Yeah.
Like, it's good fun. It's got some great choreography. It's got some very cool special effects.
Is it worth going to the cinema? And this is the big question. Like, we've had our return to the cinema movie in Australia, which was Godzilla versus Kong, which was kind of a nice popcorn movie. But do you think this will drag people back into cinemas to see? Do you think it's worth going to?
I would definitely watch this again on a big screen.
Me too.
Rather than the screener. Like, I really feel like it would be more entertaining and more deserving of being watched on a big screen. For action sequences like this and the special effects, you really need to be seeing it in a cinema.
Yeah. I'm very keen. I was very, very keen. Going, I really wanted to go to a press screening or a premiere or something.
Yeah.
Just because I would love to see it on a big screen. And a friend of mine worked on this film as one of the what are the special effects editors?
Editor.
Cool.
And
yes,
editor.
but specifically for the special effects.
Yeah.
And after I told him I'd watched it, he's like, "What did you think? And did you see it on a good screen? And did you see it in a really good sound system?" Because apparently the sound mix on it's fucking spectacular.
I watched it on my phone like Nolan intended.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like,
I had a Game Boy Advance that I plugged it into, and I watched it that way.
With an emulator.
yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I think if you can, like at the moment, this is worth going and seeing it in a cinema for. It's popcorn shit, and it's good popcorn shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There are still a bunch of surprises. There's things that we haven't talked about. There's plot points that we haven't talked about. And there are some stuff that will come out in the extended versions of the interviews as well that we talk about, some more spoilery stuff there. So keep an eye out for them.
It's good. And while you ruminate on your ratings, I want to apologize for not mentioning something that we should have talked about in the 1995 one. The soundtrack to the 1995 movie,
oh my word,
was fucking amazing. And the soundtrack to this one is not as good because I don't find myself going out of the cinema or leaving stopping watching it going, that's the song I want to hear. That song had you going Mortal Kombat and yelling out like it was a fun thing. This one was kind of like, oh, this is weird, some sort of weird trance remix of Mortal Kombat. No, I'm not sure I want this one. And I felt a little bit sad by that.
Like they did a 2021 remix one that you sent to me, Dion, and you know what?
Yeah.
I was waiting in line at the RTA, and I was like, just, I was enjoying it.
It's kind of almost the Baron Zemo dance bit of it. It's like, yeah, I can jive along to this one in, like I said, in line at the RTA. Whereas the other one, you're just in the car going, yeah, fuck yeah, Mortal Kombat's great, yeah.
I should drive.
It's taking about 6 pills. Let's go.
Yeah. Man, that first soundtrack album is just fucking badass song after badass song.
Absolute bang. Good gym music if you've ever do that or not even.
Especially the music for the reptile fight.
Yes, which was, that was trivia that I forgot to mention, which is, funnily enough, made by Tracy Lords, who was the ex porn star who became a DJ and then an actor. You might remember her from Blade. But also,
you probably don't.
Well, I'm not saying you might, but that's kind of nice trivia. I was like listening to the music. I was like, oh yeah, that's that song. And who did that? Oh, that was Tracy Lords. That's right. Yep, great.
And my favorite song out of the whole fucking album is for the worst fight in the whole fucking film.
What was the worst fight?
The song for the fight between Sonya and Kano is the KMFDM track, and it's fucking awesome. And I know that they went, this is a really good song. We need something to make this fight not shit.
I mean, look, they do justice in this. And the new one, in this new one, they do give that justice. They do another Kano Sonya fight, and it's definitely way better than the first one. And I would say, tip of the hat to all the actors in the film. Like, they did it right. They had different fighting styles. It made a lot of sense to me. I was watching it going, oh yeah, wow, they did that. Like Josh Lawson, not someone who went to the gym at all ever, but someone who you look at and you're like, you are a backstabbing asshole. And that's how you fight. And I get that. And I respect that you did that. You've got Liu Kang and Kung Lao who have trained their entire lives to kick the crap out of people. And they do. They're kind of the top tier. It's like, fight me. It's like, all right, I dare you.
Actually, I will say, one of the people we interviewed was Sisi Stringer, who plays Mileena. I felt for her because that's a tough character to do much with, especially because she's usually paired up with Katana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her whole storyline is usually kind of tied in with that. So if you just have her there, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But she did it as well as she could with what she had, which wasn't much.
Yeah, but she does they're all great presents. Like this is the thing. Everyone on the screen, good or bad, has a great presence. It's so exciting to see them, and you want to watch them start fighting. And then they start fighting, and you're like, oh, this is kind of somewhat I'm not really that invested because I understand what happened to the one character I wanted to hear more of, Kano. And the other person from the good side that you're supposed to really get behind is Cole, who I did not get behind, and I would be happy to not see him show up in Mortal Kombat movies. I am sorry. I don't give a shit about Cole.
He's a tough one. I thought the idea of introducing a new character and going, okay, we're going with something new and giving it some kind of tie into another character was kind of interesting, but it just you've got hero characters.
Yeah.
They've just gone with the how can we get normal people that don't know what Mortal Kombat is to get on board with this movie? Let's have an everyman character that's our protagonist, and everybody's supposed to be able to follow him as if it's you in the story.
Yeah, because are they trying to get specifically the 15-year-old kid who wants to be an MMA superstar but just can't make it in the business? And they're like, here's another avatar for you. Yeah, eventually you'll be able to do some sort of weird Colossus move. Half Colossus move.
Yeah, and here's your avatar. By the way, his special move is getting hit.
Yeah. He can absorb punches.
Yep. And that's all he did was just get hit a lot. Yep. So, maybe not the most active, way of selling a character, but whatever.
Sure. I fully believe that the sequel to Mortal Kombat or Mortal Kombat 2 or what was it, 2 Mortal 2 Kombat that I wanted them to
or
say.
Mortal Kombat fighting around the world.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat fighting around the world. And change out. That's it. Russell Crowe should play Shao Kahn. You heard it here first. Russell Crowe is Shao Kahn, and he just comes in, he invades. He's like, "You're fighting around the world."
Funny enough, his giant hammer looks a bit like a phone.
But I'm really fascinated. Like, I want to see a Scorpion Sub-Zero movie. That's great. I would see that more. You know, I even go, Kano, Sonya, Jax movie.
Special Forces one.
You know, or just Outworld. I want to know more about Outworld. Outworld was not fleshed out enough. I don't understand why it's a threat. I don't care.
Yeah. And I think maybe that is what is missing, is that whole other half of it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's two sequences really with the Outworld bad guys, and you're like,
yeah.
What are you doing? I don't get it.
Right. Well, ratings before we go to to the second
that
interview.
thing we do.
Yes.
If you have seen it in the chat, please leave us a rating. We would like to know what you thought of it.
Quinny, what did you think?
I thought it was okay. The thing is, I want to watch it again, and I'm down for that. So I will probably go 78.
78.
Yep.
Wow.
Like it's a lot of fun. Like almost all of those 78 points are for Josh Lawson and Kano.
Yeah.
I give it.
And I do feel like they may have great difficulty in doing a second film now. Then again, death is not exactly a permanent thing in the world of Mortal Kombat.
Well, saving Jill's rating for the last, only because so low in the first one. I'm just excited to hear what this one is.
Can only be better.
10 is a hard score. I'd give it 75 because I went, this is 50 for Kano, and the other 25 are for Sub-Zero, and unfortunately I think everyone else made it lose points. Well, Sub-Zero, Scorpion sort of thing in there, and everything else was just points off. Also, as I said, abysmal use of Goro, and I don't want to see Cole again ever. I don't even want to see him show up in a movie. I don't care.
The dude with literal plot armor.
That was what somebody said, and I was like,
it took me 3/4 of the way through the film to work out which one was his daughter, and I was like, oh really? Oh, okay, right. So that's why I'm supposed to give a shit about it.
Am I the only one that thought that girl was his girlfriend, and then when he kissed the mother, I'm like, hang on a second.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? What the fuck is
like,
going
what
on?
is the ages of these people? I don't understand.
That was confusing.
Okay, Jillaroo, hit us.
Okay, I'm gonna give it 55.
Oh, over the top. Oh, yeah, sorry.
It was so much better.
That's not a
the 95 version, but was the execution there? No.
Okay. Right.
The only things that saved it were definitely Kano, Hiroyuki Sanada, and the Scorpion Sub-Zero fight. That's like that backstory. That's all that had me hooked. Was that stuff? Rest of it can go.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll call you back when the sequel's getting made, and we'll see if we can.
Oh, look, I'd be interested to see who they cast for Johnny Cage for the sequel.
Yes. It'll be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
You don't happen to have the bicycle kick, do you?
No, I don't. I mean, come on. That's only so
I
many
fucking
hours
love the
in a day.
bicycle kick because it's the longest, stupidest sound effect in gaming.
I've still got your favorite one. That was a shame too. No Raiden. We didn't get to see him go.
Yes. I mean, I know he's meant to be an elder god, and storyline wise, he's kind of not necessarily going to be a fighter. But fuck's sake, the dude is one of the more fun characters to play.
Yes.
He can teleport all over the place and has an attack.
All right. Okay, cool. We'll play the interview, which is with Josh and Sisi, and then we'll come back and wrap up and tell you what we're doing next week.
Yes, and I do want to preface this by saying that just before I walked into this interview, I had bought a piece of candy called unicorn balls. My good buddy Jabba, who you know from In the House and various other things and Housos and stuff, was in a shop with me, and he's like, "Buy them; that'll be funny," because Jabba's Jabba, and I did.
Because
You'll
Quinny
see what
just doesn't
happens.
have any.
No,
Fucking
no,
feels he's like,
I have no self-control.
you tell
So,
Quinny to do something and he does it.
Yeah. Jabba says do it, and I'm like, how high? Many. How many balls should I buy? What am I doing here?
That will just explain the reason that someone is in there with some candy. Like,
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. It's all very
All
strange.
right, enjoy this very funny interview.
Sub-Zero.
Hi, we are here talking to two of the stars and two of the bestest bad guys from Mortal Kombat. The bestest bad guys. Because you guys just steal the show. I'm going to say it right now. Steal the show.
That means a lot to me and Josh.
Good.
I speak for him now.
Good.
You're absolutely right.
This is an amazing puppet show, and I didn't even see your lips move or your hand.
No, exactly. She could drink water, and trust me, it's going to blow your mind.
Absolutely. Now, Josh, Kano, I just need to check. Have you done the research into the character in terms of his background? Because I'm pretty sure he's actually just a guy called Kane. Who's got some mates who call him Kano, mate. And he goes out on the drink with Steve-O.
I feel like the origin story is writing itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a standalone movie, like everything about Kano as a young child.
It's great. I'm thinking it's a rom-com. I don't know why.
It's a Christmas rom-com.
I really think this is it.
That's Christmas with the Kanos.
This is great. Santa obviously gets, he's incapacitated. Kano's going to step in to deliver presents to all the boys and girls.
Rip somebody's heart out in the middle of it. Now, look, the thing about Kano in this film is he is so Australian. Like, it's terrifying how Australian he is. So how much of that vernacular was your decision? Like, how much were you putting into that? Because that's not something that can be written by an American.
No, indeed. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. There was, obviously we wanted him to be Australian, that was, but there isn't one version of Australian. No. And so Kano's cranked up to 11. And, yeah, we knew that there was certain phrases and vernacular and stuff.
Sorry, I'm just looking across and realising she's going to eat the unicorn ball.
Oh, my God.
I just really
Make sure we get
to
to anything could happen.
Continue.
Of course.
Unexpected.
But we knew that there's going to be stuff Americans just don't understand. No. And that's okay.
Fight! No Harry Potter, all right? Cute. Real cute. Let's see you try that again. That the only move you know, mate? No. Yeah, put a shirt on, Magic Mike.
And you're throwing in references that are going to be international anyway, the Harry Potter, the Magic Mike.
Sure.
So is that in the script or is that not? Okay, right. Because I was thinking that is not something somebody writes.
No, you can't really, in a way.
No.
Because on the page that looks a bit I don't know, rehearsed or something, or slick.
Yeah.
But when you're riffing and stuff, and you're coming out with these sort of juvenile insults, and it's part of what makes Kano, right?
Brings a lot of joy to set as well. A lot of lightness and a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, well, like watching it, you're just kind of like, that guy is. I don't know that he's a good guy, but I kind of want to drink with him.
Yeah. And that will be your fatal error.
You jealous, girlie? For me little marking. Hey, I'm talking to you. If you want it so much, all you got to do is kill me. Take it. Now, come on, what do you say? You want to dance?
It's your blood.
How'd it go?
So, Sissy, let's talk about Mileena a little bit. She's a character that's got a very, very complicated backstory and everything.
Oh, yeah. And there's multiple timelines as well. So when I was researching for it, I was kind of like, what are we doing? Which realm are we doing? What timeline are we doing? Forgive me for eating this.
No, you know what? I've done this to myself. I have given you a unicorn ball and you put it in your mouth in the middle of
exactly,
review.
but it tastes really nice, so I'm going to keep it in there.
Good.
Right. Well,
John.
basically, Mileena is. So we have Shang Tsung, who is the sorcerer of Outworld. You know, sits in a position of power. And Mileena was created in what we call the flesh pits by him.
That's an unfortunate name, and I'm uncomfortable
Yes,
with it.
and how it makes you feel, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Did you see that episode of Embarrassing Body about flesh pits?
Oh, God.
No, it's horrible.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it's
come
not
on.
even.
I
It's
actually
not
have.
funny. It's
Come
a
on.
horrible disease.
Yeah, it really is.
You gotta take it seriously, man.
Yeah, come on.
So yes, she's a clone of a princess, and she's turned into a warrior demon with this awful teeth, and now she's trying to serve Shang Tsung, the sorcerer who created her, and take over the Earth realm.
Okay.
Master, Sub-Zero tracked and killed another one of Earth's champions, but another has escaped.
Have our assassins double their efforts.
What of Lord Raiden? If he discovers we're breaking rules set in stone by the Elder Gods.
Leave the other gods to me. We didn't win 9 straight tournaments by following the rules. Mileena, let's finish this. Send in the reptilian Sizoth.
She's going to kill me.
Okay, and one final one that one of our actual listeners threw at us. Which one could you beat in a fight? 1 10-foot tall Joe Taslim, or 10 1-foot tall Joe Taslams?
Well, the 10, I don't think you stand a chance with the 1 10-foot
You don't stand a chance with either.
That is the correct answer.
That's too much.
Yes, there is no correct answer. You will always lose.
It's
You
true,
will
you're not
always
wrong.
lose.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You think about the injuries those
It's
1
really
foot
nice.
Joe
That's a
Taslim.
lot. That's
Tiny,
a lot.
A lot of
But
shit.
deadly.
You get shin
He's so
splints.
sweet though. He's so sweet though.
Yes, but-
Absolute monster. And then he calls cut and he's like, "Good morning." It's
Aw,
lovely.
I love him all the more now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Sub-Zero. Yes. Yes. Oh man, that was just fun. That is fun. Even with that interview,
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still would have a beer with Josh and Sissy. I'd have a beer with all of them.
Yeah.
They sound like lovely people.
Absolutely. And they're doing the hardest job in the world, which is being spontaneous and funny and pretending every time they've heard the question it's the first time.
Yep. And what have you learned, Quinny? Don't give people food.
Yes, no. Don't let them fucking unwrap the food in the middle of the thing. Don't, because Josh looked at it and was like, yeah, right, cool. Put it down beside him. I was like, smart move. But Sissy was just like, oh, it's good. It's like, damn it. Good. It's all about the unicorn balls now.
Yes,
yeah. And there is a bit more to that one as well, including a few questions that other people asked. So, yes, they were good fun. They're good fun. And it is always that difficult thing where you're like,
go out and see it. Go see Mortal Kombat. It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And now the one thing I did want to say, in the middle of that clip, there was one of my favorite moments from the film because it is the perfect fucking moment from anyone who's ever played Mortal Kombat 1 or 2.
Yep.
Where you start a fight and then you walk in and then somebody sweeps you and you fall down and they sweep you again. You fall down and you jump and then they sweep you again. And it's like, fucking, is that the only move you know, cunt?
Yeah, absolutely. See, there was so many good little parts about the movie. Like someone who's played the games and from the start games has actually been involved in this production and thrown in those tiny little snippets, which are like, oh yeah, that's how this happens, you know. Much like there were too many flips in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, there was just some nice little moments in the Mortal Kombat film. It was great, you know.
Yes. Look, it's been an absolute joy doing things for this because, you know, as I said,
it's been fun.
You know,
It's Combat
been a long
Week.
time since 1995.
Yeah, you've been waiting a while.
I was very impressed. I saw a friend of mine, Warwick, who happened to be in Adelaide, last night, and saw a preview screening of it. And he was one of the people in the car that I went and watched Mortal Kombat with.
Oh,
and so he
little
messaged.
Quinny.
Yeah.
Little Quinny and the boys.
We're back with little Quinny.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I had a real strong, nostalgia moment, and I was like, "Oh, buddy, wish I could have been there with you." So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a quarter of a century ago.
Yeah.
yeah. I saw someone post about that the other day. Just going, this is what you remember Wolfenstein being, and it was the original kind of like, this is what you remember Wolfenstein from 20 years ago being, and this is what it was, and it's like a high res version. I was like, oh fuck, that's right. Like,
it's real Wolfenstein.
Real Wolfenstein is like 30 years ago. Like, oh shit, right? Okay, yeah. I don't want to think about that.
Yes. Jubei Chan in the chat said, "Bring on Shang-Chi." Absolutely.
Sure.
Pretty excited for that.
Maybe release Black Widow.
Let's get Black Widow done first.
Maybe. Join us tomorrow. I think tomorrow is exciting. It's the end of Combat Week. What's the end of Combat Week?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale.
How are they going to wrap this up? I love.
My guess is badly.
I love that in
John Walker's doing his 5-minute crafts shield. We'll see how that turns out.
He's like a cosplayer doing it just before he's supposed to go on stage.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you today how to make your own shield. And subscribe.
First, collect the blood of your decapitated enemy. And use that to paint it red.
Just spread it around the edge.
Yeah, I love that some people have been getting excited in the Periodic Table spoiler thread on Facebook, where people are coming together and they're putting their most insane theories about how the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to wrap up tomorrow. But I think Quinny might be. You're going to talk to people about it tomorrow night if you want to jump on after the show.
Yeah, probably be somewhere around about 9:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Great. That gives me 3 times to watch it.
Yeah. Yes, this is absolutely true. So please come along and we'll talk about that. And if you have happened to have seen Mortal Kombat by then, we can talk about that. We can talk about anything you want.
Maybe.
Jill's like, no, we're talking about this at length.
Yeah. I have done my time, guys. Come on. Jill has done the hard yards this week by just punching through all of the Mortal Kombat stuff.
Yes.
It's a shame. It's a shame that you haven't played the games, but I did try to get you to play all the games through, so you got all the canonical endings and fun.
Oh God! Wow!
Oh come on!
Tomorrow's my night, okay?
Yes, it is. You've earned it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And struggle streak.
What are we going to do next week?
It's been a fucking week.
Yeah.
What are we going to do
next week? We're going to do what we said we were going to do this week, but then then Combat Week happened. Wow.
Yeah. Combat Week, that thing that we planned for in about 3 minutes, and just decided to roll with it over the weekend. I'm like, sure, we're doing this now. Let's make it all about fighting each other.
Yep. It was a good time, and we hope that you've had a fun time because we were making it up as we went.
Yes.
No, we are talking about Invincible. So we will be having a look at the Amazon Prime series, Invincible.
Yes.
Which is not for kids.
Good. Because the comic was not for kids, but this is the animated adaptation of the comic made by the creator of, or one of the creators of The Walking Dead.
Robert Kirkman.
Written by him. And is it good? Because I actually haven't watched any of it yet. Are you having fun time so far?
I'm digging it. Yeah.
Digging it?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I think it was on one of the Friday night chats. Somebody, Will, I think it was, came in and was saying that the comic takes a lot longer to get going than the series does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right.
But the series is, it does a good job of building a universe.
Right.
And then smashing it pretty spectacularly.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right.
Yes.
Well, that was Mortal Kombat.
It was.
I'm exhausted now.
Sorry?
I said I'm exhausted now.
Yes. Yeah. You have to test your might on a big...
Okay.
Your might.
No, we're definitely going to.
Finish him.
Or not to be gendered.
Finish her.
There we go.
Oh, good.
Well, Dion, I hate to tell you, but your beer's shit and you're almost out of it.
Actually, no, that was more of a... Yeah, that's what sound effects should just follow Kano around because the whole audience is like, oh, another zinger from Kano.
Yeah. None of that Harry Potter shit.
Yeah, I was so annoyed that they had to bleep that out of the clip. I was like, oh, come on.
Come on. We're an all ages show. My favorite one is the, all right, put your shirt on, Magic Mike.
I loved all the, he's worth watching just for the tiny little asides at the ends of lines.
Yeah.
You know, and things where he's off camera and you know that he has just thrown it in because he thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
I love that. He is worth paying you $20 or whatever it is for.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And also the fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. They're kind of
Actually,
the two things that you're watching.
Yeah.
And there are some moments in that where I was like, oh yeah, they're fucking doing bits out of the game. I fucking love it.
Yeah, especially the ice dummy.
Yes. Fucking love the ice dummy. I was
And
like,
they made it work correctly. Like it wasn't the 95 stuff where Sub-Zero takes a pose and does manspreading and then suddenly ice comes out of his dick. Like they did it right. He has ice powers. He can do cool shit with ice. Fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking do it. All right.
Okay. Well, I have been Quinny.
I've been Dion.
I've been Jill.
And this has been the Periodic Table of Awesome. Thank you. Oh, and good night. Oh, and we're going to raid Back Pocket.
Yay!
Why not?
We'll go see the
Let's
Back
do
Pocket
that.
people. They're lovely peeps.
They are
go
good
into
people.
Back Pocket. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Hope you get a chance to see the film soon and join us.
Yeah, let
on
us know if you liked
Tuesday.
it. Send us messages.
Back to the regular scheduled Tuesday next week.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. Deep-powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. Martial arts from Iron Fist and Wall. I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers Assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Date Emma Frost and have her read my mind. Or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Bucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours. This NMA and bring her lots of flowers. Oh, at all the trendy bars and be a guy's night out. We'd make that wolf pack now. I'd run with Flash and do a marathon. Vacation to the Savage Land for fun. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of. I wanna live in a world full of heroes. Have NPR and CNN describe the latest team. I wanna tuck my kids inside and read them cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see him flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer him on so proud. Deep-powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. Martial arts from Iron Fist and Wall, I'll dap her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Date Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Bucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours. This NMA and bring her lots of flowers. Oh, at all the trendy bars and be a guy's night out. We'd make that wolf pack out. I'd run with Flash and do a marathon. Vacation to the Savage Land for fun. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of. I wanna live in a world full of heroes. Have NPR and CNN describe the latest team. I wanna tuck my kids inside and read them stories of superhuman glory while the sleepy faces beam. Wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see him flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer him on so proud. Deep-powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. Martial arts from Iron Fist and Wall, I'll dap her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Date Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony. It'll just be her and me. Call Bucky Barnes and arm wrestle for hours. This NMA and bring her lots of flowers. Oh, cigars, be Tony Stark at all the trendy bars. wanna tuck my kids inside and read them stories of superhuman glory while the sleepy faces beam